A blogger sits in jail for refusing to take down posts about the son of a very powerful politician.
Sounds like something that might happen in China, Egypt, or Iran, but instead it's happening nearby in Shelby County. CBS 42's Mike McClanahan walks us through a story that's a combination political soap opera and battle over the free press.
Roger Schuler is a former newspaper reporter who writes a political blog called Legal Schnauzer. He's also currently a prisoner in the Shelby County jail, cited with contempt of court and resisting arrest. He could bond out on the resisting charge. It's the contempt citation that's keeping him behind bars. His blog, called Legal Schnauzer, routinely charged a variety of Republican political bigwigs with sexual improprieties. Rob Riley is the son of former Governor Bob Riley. Other Legal Schnauzer targets include current Attorney General Luther Strange. Schuler's allegations about Rob Riley's alleged affair with a Republican lobbyist resulted in Riley and the lobbyist filing defamation claims and asking for a court order for Schuler to take down his blog posts about them. The whole story takes several weird turns at that point. Schuler claims the efforts to serve the injunction on him were legally defective and therefore invalid. And when sheriff's deputies showed up at his house to arrest him, they claim he resisted arrest. The bottom line is Schuler's sitting in the Shelby County jail and setting off a national firestorm about the First Amendment and freedom of the press. Whether he's a First Amendment martyr or a scurrilous gossip monger depends on who you ask. Jay Merle with Rob Riley's Homewood law firm says the blogger is, quote, a cyber bully who has made up outlandish lies, end quote. First Amendment groups like the ACLU have weighed in on Schuler's defense.
It's our belief that the injunctive relief that has been entered in this case already runs afoul of both the First Amendment to the United States Constitution and also to Article 1, Section 4 of the Alabama Constitution.
Meanwhile, Schuler is still in the Shelby County jail. He could bond out on the resisting arrest charge, but what's keeping him behind bars is his refusal to take down the allegedly defamatory blog posts. Carol Schuler says no final judgment has been made about the accuracy of the reports. She says her husband hasn't had his day in court.
They should have proven their case. It's up to them to prove it's defamatory, them to prove it's a lie. I mean, we don't have to prove it's true. It is true.
Not so, according to Riley. Jay Merle issued this response. Quote, the court held a hearing, concluded that Mr. Schuler's statements about Mr. Riley were false, and ordered Mr. Schuler to take the statements down. Mr. Schuler refused to show up to any hearings in the case, refused to follow the court's orders, and has been held in contempt of court. End quote. And what about the resisting arrest charge? Shelby County Sheriff Chris Curry says when deputies tried to serve the civil court order, Schuler became physically confrontational and combative. The sheriff says neither Schuler nor the deputy was physically injured. Mike McClanahan, CBS 42 News.
All right, Mike, thank you. Court records show that Schuler has a hearing on the resisting arrest charge coming up Tuesday morning in Shelby County courts.
Now, his wife says there's also a Thursday court date set for the civil case. The Reporters Committee for Freedom of the Press wrote a letter to the court voicing concerns about the Legal Schnauzer case. The committee expressed that the judge's order to take down the articles and to seal the rulings were unconstitutional. Local attorney Raymond Johnson says, in general, defamation cases are handled through civil suits, not bans on publishing or speech.
But generally, that's what defamation suits are about, libel and slander suits. And that's where the best remedies can be fashioned by the court, where there's a civil lawsuit. And that's what the court generally wants the parties to do, not to come in court and to seek an injunction.
Attorney Johnson did not want to weigh in on the specifics of that case because the contents were reportedly sealed.